Imagine paying $180 million for two portraits of a married couple. That's exactly what happened with these paintings by Rembrandt. Painted in 1634, they show Merton Soelmans and Eupen Capet shortly after their marriage. And look closely, they're not dressed like ordinary people. Their enormous black outfits, expensive lace, jewelry, and full-length poses were designed to show their wealth and status. But here's something you probably wouldn't notice. Rembrandt actually painted the floor tiles in Merton's portrait slightly smaller. Why? To make him appear larger and more imposing. Even the glove in his hand carries symbolic meaning. These weren't simply wedding pictures. They were a statement of power, wealth, and social status. In 2015, the Louvre and Rijksmuseum jointly acquired the pair for about $180 million. And that's what makes them fascinating. Two wedding portraits became one of the most expensive Rembrandt purchases in history. At first glance, this looks like a beautiful painting filled with golden elegance, soft shapes, flowing patterns, and mysterious figures. But look closer. Where do the bodies end and where does the decoration begin? This is Wasserschlangen II, painted by Gustav Klimt in the early 1900s. And Klimt wasn't just painting people, he was blending them into the artwork itself. The figures almost disappear into gold patterns, twisting forms, and serpent-like shapes. It's as if the human body is dissolving into something more abstract, something less real. And that's what makes this painting so unusual. You're not just looking at people, you're looking at a world where beauty, identity, and reality begin to blur. This painting was later sold privately for around $183 million, and suddenly, something that feels almost unreal became one of the most valuable paintings ever sold. At first glance, this doesn't even look like a painting, just 3 blocks of color, violet, green, and red. No faces, no people, no story. So why would anyone pay nearly $186 million for this? This is number 6. Painted by Mark Rothko. And Rothko wasn't trying to show you something. He was trying to make you feel something. These massive blocks of color aren't random. When you stand in front of them, they surround you. The edges blur, the colors seem to glow, and the painting almost feels alive. There is no clear meaning, no single story, just emotion, silence, and space. And that's what makes it so powerful. This painting was later sold privately for around $186 million. And suddenly, something that looked so simple became one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. You've seen this face before, but not like this. This is Marilyn Monroe turned into one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. At first glance, it looks simple. Bright colors, clean lines, a familiar face. But this isn't just a portrait. This is shot sage blue Marilyn, created by Andy Warhol. He didn't paint her from real life. He used a photo and transformed it into something artificial. Her face looks flat, repeated almost like a product. And that's idea. Warhol showed how fame turns people into images that can be copied and sold. In 2022, this painting sold for $195 million, and suddenly, a single face became one of the most valuable images in the world. Look at this, looks like a mess. Paint thrown everywhere, lines going in every direction. No clear shape, so how can something like this be worth around $200 million? This is number 17A, created by Jackson Pollock. But Pollock didn't paint the way most artists do. He didn't use careful brush strokes. He moved around the canvas. Dripping, pouring, and splashing paint from every angle. What looks random is actually controlled movement. Every drop is placed in a moment you can't repeat, and that's what changed modern art forever. This painting was later sold privately for around $200 million, and suddenly chaos became one of the most valuable forms of art. At first glance, this looks peaceful. 2 women sitting quietly in a tropical landscape. Soft colors, calm environment, nothing unusual. It almost feels like a simple moment from paradise, but look closer. This painting isn't as innocent as it seems. This is Nefia, Fea Poipo, painted by Paul Gauguin in 1892. The title means, "When will you marry?" And at first, it feels like a gentle cultural scene. But the story behind this painting is far more complicated. Gauguin left Europe and traveled to Tahiti, searching for what he believed was a more pure and natural life. He wanted to escape modern society and find something untouched. And that's exactly what he tried to capture in this painting. But today, people see it very differently because behind this peaceful image, there are uncomfortable questions. Questions about his life there. His choices and the reality behind the scene. What once looked like paradise now feels uncertain. Even the expressions of the women start to feel more serious, more distant. It's no longer just a calm moment. It feels like something deeper is hidden beneath the surface. And that completely changes how you see the painting. This artwork was later sold privately for around $210 million. And suddenly, A Quiet Moment in Paradise became one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. This doesn't look like a normal portrait. She doesn't just wear the gold, she almost disappears into it. The patterns surround her, blend with her, and slowly take over the entire image. This is Portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer I, painted by Gustav Klimt. And it feels like something between a portrait and a dream. The face looks real, almost alive. But everything around it feels distant, symbolic, almost unreal. It's as if she exists in two worlds at the same time. One human and one completely abstract. And that's what makes this painting so powerful. But the story behind it is even more powerful. Adele Bloch-Bauer was a real person from a wealthy Jewish family in Vienna. This painting was created to represent beauty, status, and elegance. But during World War II, the Nazis took it from her family. And in that moment, everything changed. This wasn't just art anymore. It became a symbol of justice. Later, the painting sold for around $135 million. And suddenly, a portrait became one of the most valuable and meaningful paintings in the world. Two men sitting quietly, playing cards. No action, no drama, no luxury. Just a simple moment. So why would a painting like this be worth over $250 million? This is The Card Players, painted by Paul Cézanne. At first, it feels almost ordinary. Two workers completely focused on their game. No one is smiling. No one is reacting. It's silent, almost too silent. And that's where things start to feel different. Because nothing here is accidental. Every position, every angle, every detail is carefully controlled. Cézanne wasn't trying to show action, he was trying to capture something deeper. Look at their faces, serious, focused, almost frozen in time. Even the space between them feels heavy, like something is happening but you can't see it. The colors are muted. The shapes are simple, but everything feels balanced. Nothing is random, and that's what makes it powerful. It turns a normal moment into something timeless. You're not watching a game. You're feeling the tension inside it. This painting was later sold for over $250 million. And suddenly, A Quiet Card Game became one of the most expensive scenes ever painted. This doesn't look finished. In fact, it looks messy, rough strokes. Strange shapes, colors all over the place. It almost feels incomplete. So how did something like this sell for over $300 million? This is Interchange, painted by Willem de Kooning. And at first, it's confusing. You try to find a face, a figure. Something familiar, but it keeps slipping away. Nothing stays still. Everything feels like it's moving. And that's exactly what makes it different. This painting isn't showing a moment. It feels like it's capturing change itself. Look closer. The shapes start to shift. What looked random begins to feel intentional. There are hints of a human form, but never fully clear. It's like the painting is constantly transforming. Never fixed, never complete. And that's the idea. De Kooning wanted to break away from traditional art. He didn't want perfection, he wanted energy, movement, freedom, something alive. And that's why this painting feels so different every time you look at it. In 2015, it was sold privately for around $300 million. And suddenly, something that looks unfinished became one of the most expensive paintings ever sold. This painting disappeared for centuries. No records, no certainty, lost, forgotten, almost erased from history. And then it came back quietly, unexpectedly, like something that was never meant to be found again. This is Salvator Mundi, a painting believed to be created by Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest artists who ever lived. At first, it looks simple, holding a transparent glass orb, staring directly at you, calm, still, silent, almost too perfect. But something doesn't feel right. Look at the orb in his hand. It should bend light. It should distort whatever is behind it. But it doesn't. It breaks the rules of reality, and that's where the mystery begins. Was this intentional, a hidden message, or something we still don't understand? For years, experts argued over a bigger question. Is this really a painting by Da Vinci, or something else entirely? The painting changed hands again and again. It vanished, reappeared, restored, questioned. Every time it came back, it brought more doubts with it. Some believed it was a lost masterpiece. Others believed it was not what it claimed to be, and even today, no one fully agrees. That uncertainty is part of its power, because you're not just looking at a painting. You're looking at a mystery that refuses to be solved. In 2017, this painting was sold for $450 million. And suddenly, something once lost in time became the most expensive painting the world has ever seen.